All right, welcome in. It is time for Total Bases. It is Wednesday. Bryan Leonard is on the East Coast, gets to enjoy a couple extra hours of sleep before the show. See how I get to live all year with the show being at 9 a.m. Eastern. The perfect time. Tokyo Brandon is up, finishing his night as usual with you guys. So thank him. He comes in and does this show at night, 6 days a week. And I mean, a great Tuesday for me. I went 4-0. Desperately needed that. I didn't have the best first 2 weeks of August, so a couple winning days and a 4-0 day yesterday. I'll take it. Parlay fell short because of the Mets. You can thank Fernando Tatis for that incredible play he made to really flip a game. I mean, the difference between a 4-1 game and a 1-0 game in Major League Baseball is massive. But yeah, I thought a pretty decent Tuesday. Tokyo Brandon, how did your Tuesday go?
Yeah, it was good. 2-1. Won the Yankees Mets. Had a bad beat in the Seattle Brewers game. 1-0 going in the fifth inning. I had under 4.5. And Bryce Miller decided to turn into crap. So that was not good. Just went 3-0 in Asian baseball this morning. All of them 4% plays. So happy about that. Doosan.
Very nice. That was I mean, you've been absolutely crushing a league that I can't seem to figure out this year. So shout out to you. Anyone that says, oh, it's easier, I don't want to hear that at all. People are like, oh, like minor league baseball, it's easy to win. Do you win in minor league baseball? No, I don't think so. It's not easy. There's just edges. So shout out to you for being, having a tremendous season across the board, but also in NPB and KBO. Bryan, how was your flight across country and how did your Tuesday go?
Yeah, flight was packed, but it was smooth. Got into Orlando yesterday. I'll be here a couple days, then I'm going to head over to Daytona and visit our friend Ralph Michaels. Always have fun out there on the beach. So to all the girls, I'm just warning you that we will be taking our shirts off. I had Kansas City yesterday, and when I got off the plane, turned out they used an opener, and I didn't know that at the time. So my clients, for my grading, was a push. It was nothing because I specified to go against the A's starting pitcher. And for those that did not lock that in, they got a win. And good. I'm very glad that Kansas City came back and won that game late. But for my records, it's a no play because I like to specify and wanted to go against Perkins, and they brought in an opener for him. Perkins ended up pitching out of the bullpen and actually did really well. So, my handicap probably wasn't right regardless, but luckily it was a push.
Yeah, listen, this is we're going to get to that time of year, September. It's going to happen constantly. I would recommend, if you don't care about a starting pitcher one way or the other, just list one, list the other, or play action. If you don't want to lose your bet, you're going to see pitching changes galore, and you're going to see more openers, more bullpen games. I would say starting about 2 weeks from now, it'll be a regular occurrence. It'll be every day. Once we start to get into September, rosters can expand. Teams have more pitchers. So the live chat is slowly filling up, and so we can get started here. Tokyo Brandon, I thought we sort of nailed this game yesterday. You ended up with a play for clients on the Yankees, which won. On the show, we talked about the Orioles being at a little bullpen disadvantage. I think I said, Orioles first 5, if you took the half a run, you won. If you took the money line, you pushed. So I thought we did a good job of breaking that game down. In the end, the Yankees do get to the Orioles bullpen, and they win the game 3-1. Now they come back today. It's Yankees-Orioles, the veteran Chris Bassett for the home team, and Will Warren for the Yankees. So start us off here. How do you see this one?
Yeah, I liked the Yankees yesterday. Today, kind of a different story, but I still think they have the better starting pitcher, and they definitely have the better bullpen. The problem is they're hitting. So even when they're winning games, they're only scoring like 3 or 4 runs. I don't see the Yankees busting out like a 8-run, 10-run games these days, but their pitching is so good, they don't really have to. But Warren, not exactly elite. He's okay. He's kind of like a nonchalant innings eater kind of guy. I like him better than Bassett, actually. He's got an 8-6 record. records don't mean that much in Major League Baseball. What really means something is his whip and all of his advanced numbers. And in those numbers, I have him ranked on a scale of 30-15. So he's exactly mediocre. It would be Yankees or nothing for me here. I probably won't play it, though, just because they just came off a really nice win yesterday, and they just are having a problem scoring these days. I don't think Bassett is a train wreck. I just like Warren a little bit more, but probably won't play it, but I would do Yankees if I had to. Adam, you're muted.
Sorry about that. You mentioned the Yankees. You mentioned the Yankees offense. I posted a clip of Roman Anthony hitting one about 500 feet in Portland last night onto Twitter, and I said, when he comes back, the Red Sox might be probably the best team in the American League. And of course, there were some Yankees fans that took offense to that, and I was like,
"Oh, geez,
yeah." They said, "What?" Well, no, the Yankees. I was like, I mean, when would the Yankees haven't really hit consistently in over a month? Now, I had noted that, I liked some of the lineup changes they made around the trade deadline. Thought bringing in Luis Garcia, Heliot Ramos was good. Obviously, honestly, Brian, where would they be right now without the Lombard call-up? He's probably been their best player the last couple of weeks. So I too, though, TB, have my reservations with this Yankees team now, because it's now August 19th. It's not like these guys just showed up. And I too, just you just don't see the juice in that Yankee lineup that you kind of would expect. And the Yankees still get priced. I think the group think here still has the Yankees top team in the American League. The prices reflect that. Whereas the Orioles, though, have quietly been playing good ball. So I'm kind of with you. I'd like to try to find a way to fade the Yankees here. Let's see if Brian agrees or disagrees.
Yeah, Warren against Bassett, a couple of right-handers. We're looking at about a 120 favorite for the Yankees here, with 9.75 base, or 9.25, 9 to the over, and then 9.5 to the under. So 9.25 basically. Yeah, Warren's a guy who's he's been pretty good for them. He's gotten his innings in, but I think the value is on Baltimore here. Baltimore's playing the better ball right now, and they're a confident bunch, and they're a younger team, so they're getting some of their younger guys expected to get to the playoffs, and they're starting to come around a little bit. I still think they're going to be missing the playoffs, but right now they're playing the better baseball, and Warren's not anything special. To me, this game should be a pick'em, which would be 110 either way, and right now you can actually get 110 at a few places on Baltimore. So slight lean with Baltimore for me.
A couple of people in the chat talking about this game back and forth. I think this is interesting. So Bucket Hat Max says boots on the ground. If you're going to Camden Yards, I'm very jealous. One of my favorite ballparks. Grab this little number that I'm wearing today at the ballpark earlier this year. Slick Vic says Bassett has to prove he's ready. It's only his second game back from injury. Listen, I talked about this ahead of his first game back, that he was outstanding in 3 rehab starts for Norfolk. And there was that final one, 6 innings, there was no training wheels. He was allowed to just go out and do his thing. He went 6 innings in that game, no runs, 3 hits, 5 strikeouts, looked great. Last time out against what many consider to be the top team in the American League right now, the Rays, at the Trop, where they, never lose. I mean, I guess they're losing a couple this past weekend, but he goes out 5 1/3, 2 runs, 5 hits, 3 strikeouts. Bassett's a veteran. I don't think he has anything to prove here. I wouldn't just go into this and be like, well, I need to see more out of Bassett. It's the guy's a veteran. He had 3 rehab starts. He looked great in those, and then he looked really good in his first start back against the Rays. How many pitches is he going to go? His normal allotment of pitches. There's no when a guy has 3 starts at AAA and then comes up and has a full start in his first start back, there's no pitch count. There's no reservation. He is out there to be the guy, and I think if he pitches well, which my gut says he will, the Orioles will be in position to win this game. So I'm with you. I would take the plus money with the Orioles here.
He's also a 38-year-old guy, 37, 38. So they're not babying him. he'll pitch as long as he can have success.
Yeah, and he's one of those guys too that like I feel like when he, when he gets in a little bit of a groove, it's very like he might pitch into the seventh inning here if he's being economical with his pitch count. And I think if that's also important because if he can give them that kind of length, sixth, seventh inning, you cut out some of that back end of the Orioles bullpen, which you really don't want in the game. If you can get 6 or 7 and then get to the couple top guys in the Orioles pen, that's a reasonably good setup for the Orioles. Where the Orioles lack a little bit right now in the bullpen is depth. You don't really want to have a guy. You don't want to have to go to the pen in like the 5th inning if you're the Orioles. If Bassett can get you deep, which I think he can, I think you're in business with the Orioles here. That might it's only the first game we've talked about. That is a candidate, probably one of like 2 or 3 things I might use for the parlay. So we'll get back to that one. But yeah, I think the Orioles are definitely worth a look. Real quick in regards to Brian's play. So yeah. WagerTalk did the right thing and issued a credit on Brian's NA, no action play. That is always the case. If there's ever a rain out or ever an individual play that gets no action, you're always going to get a credit. The only time you won't get a credit is if it's part of a multi-game package. So unless, of course, the entire package gets rained out or no action, then you'll get a credit. So yeah, if for some reason you don't see one and you think you should have got one, obviously just hit up customer support, but you will always see automatically a play that you bought gets no action or rained out or canceled for any reason. You'll get a credit. So yeah, that's a good point. And shout out to us. Shout out to WagerTalk for doing that.
That's right.
Tokyo Brandon, I'm coming back to you. I should say that I do have a 5% play tonight. Probably should have thrown that in there at some point in time. I'm also very bad at doing the promo, but 5% play for me tonight. 4-0 day yesterday. Had 3 straight non-losing days at a split on Monday, a 2-0 sweep on Sunday. So I'm going to try to get that going a little bit and run it up. I have a spot I really like tonight, and it's up on my page right now for 5%. Jason Lambert, we can definitely talk about the Nats. I was shouting Tokyo Brandon out at the beginning of the show. Great call by him on the Rangers yesterday, and kind of what we sort of discussed in that game where the Nats may be running out of gas a little bit, maybe just don't have that sort of bite that they had a couple weeks ago. Obviously traded some of their better players away. And it does seem like they're kind of like, fading, if you will. Of course, not having your best player in the lineup will do that to you as well. So Nationals, Rangers, what they do have though tonight, Tokyo Brandon, is what I would consider their clear ace at this point on the mound in Cade Cavalli. He's been fantastic. So do the Nats bounce back tonight, or are you seeing the Rangers taking another win here?
So, guys, you can get a double play, 2 of us, 3 days, all baseball access. Brian's been number 1 last 30 days, 7 days, etc. Adam's number 3 among 33 cappers. I'm number 2 among 33 cappers. You can't really go wrong with any 2 of us. If you only like one of us, you can get 6 days all access for the price of 3. So go to our pages at wagertalk.com and check those specials out, because we're all 3 of the best cappers at WagerTalk. I'm not going to be humble here. So let's talk about this game. I love Cavalli too.
That's your weakness, by the way. You're too humble.
I'm too humble. I'm too boring and humble. I know. I know. Still a little sick. Sorry for the voice, you guys. But so today I absolutely love Washington. As a matter of fact, I'm going to make that my parlay leg. Give me Washington at plus 120, I think it is. Washington has the much better starting pitcher. I got him ranked 9 out of 30, where I got Rocker ranked 22. Bullpen, Washington about 4 pegs higher. And hitting, Washington 20 pegs higher. I have no idea why they're underdogs here. Doesn't make sense to me. They also have almost the same amount of wins as the Rangers. Pretty equal, but not equal in hitting, not equal in starting pitching. So I'm taking the Nationals on the money line here. I think they're the much better team today.
I don't disagree with that one bit, TB. We talked about it yesterday. I do think they're probably, fading a little bit, where I don't know if they're going to have that underdog value on a regular basis that I thought they might have what I said a couple weeks ago. But boy, when Cade Cavalli's on the mound, Brian,
Yeah.
It's probably not going to bet against them because they still are like a little bit undervalued. And he has been tremendous this year. Was great again last time out. Cashed with him in his most recent game against the Cubs. Like 8 innings, 1 hit, was just in control the entire game. So yeah, I'm with you, TB. It's Nats for me as well. Let's see if Brian makes it the dreaded consensus here on this one.
Yeah, we got Cavalli and Rocker, a couple of righties going. Rocker's about a 130 favorite right now. And we're looking at 7.5, slightly to the over. And I'm in agreement. Washington has outscored Texas on the season by a net 55 runs, and they're playing in the National League, which is the stronger league this year. The better teams are in the National League. And I have a hard time understanding, other than Texas is fighting for the playoffs and Washington really isn't. I would not expect to get this value of 120 later on in the day. Let's just put it that way. I do like the Washington side. Yeah, they're missing their best hitter. But Texas, as we've pointed out many times, they're basically a league average team. And I happen to think Washington, even without some of the players they did make a couple trades. I still think they're just as equal here. And the line should be about 115. It's 130. So, yeah, if I think the fair line is less than what we can get on the under, or the fair line is more than what we can get on the under. Well, anyway, it's early in the morning, even on the East Coast. I like Washington here and getting him at 120. I really doubt that line will be there before this game goes off. So get it now if you like it.
Well, yeah, early in the morning, it's so much tougher, in my opinion, to go west to east. East to west isn't as big of a problem. West to east, it's going to take a day at minimum. So, yeah, I feel you there. As far as listen, I great point right there on the Rangers. There are a couple of teams right now that I think are getting far too much respect from odds makers because they're in some sort of a playoff race. Like, just because you might make the playoffs does not mean that you are a great baseball team. The Rangers, in my opinion, like the epitome of just an average ball club. I've talked about it all year. Really for the last couple months, I'm like, this team is they're not bad at anything, but they don't do anything particularly well. They're just kind of this average team, decent pitching, a pretty deep bullpen. And it's like, I think they've been sitting at 500 for 2 months, like pretty much, give or take a game or two. And that's where they are after last night, 62 and 64. But because they're only a game back in their division, Brian, I agree with you. I think they get inflated a little bit. And I think that's what you see happening here. I'm not convinced that the Rangers are a better baseball team than the Nationals. And so in that case, and you've got Cavalli, TB, I'm with you. I like this one a lot. Nationals money line makes tons of sense. All right, let's head back to the chat. We got some super chats. We got some starred. Grant's dad popping in, says, thanks, guys. Grant's dad, we appreciate you. Always in the chat. Appreciate the donations, as always. They go to, we donate them to charity every time we hit. I think when all the shows collectively cross the 500 mark, we donate it. We donate it to someplace different. Last time it was St. Jude's. So yeah, it's awesome. We very much appreciate that. And it gets your chat starred. And then it gets on my radar because, that's with so many people active in the chat. The good news is so many people are active in the chat. It's great for the show. The tough part is seeing everything that goes into the chat. So it gets a little star, and then I see it, and then we talk about it. So Alex Rand says, do the Braves stop being a disappointment today? Tokyo Brandon, you made a great point yesterday. I'll let you kick this one off as well, talking about the Braves and how their lineup had really been trending in the wrong direction for much of this week. And, that's how this series has played out for the Braves at this point. 4-2 loss on Monday, 4-1 loss yesterday. Bats have been silent. So to you, Alex Rand wants to know, is this the day the Braves break out?
I have 2 MLB plays up today for my clients. So go to WagerTalk.com to grab those. I also put a free play up on WagerTalk.com as well. Braves are disappointing. but they're still a 74 win team. So I don't know how disappointing you can say they are. They just have a couple losses. 74-52 is not bad. 32-29 on the road, not bad. So I don't know if they're a disappointment. They're a good team. Twins are playing well though. Taj Bradley's a guy who I haven't liked up to this season, but this season he's doing all right. My expected numbers don't like him very much. I have him at 17 out of 30, but Smith-Shawver, I got him at 22 out of 30. So a slight advantage for the Twins there. Bullpens are equal. The Twins are hitting much better than the Braves in current form, though. I got them 12 and the Braves 20. So to answer your question, if you think the Braves are a disappointment, I think the Twins have an advantage in this game, but the Braves can break out of this little funk pretty much any time. They certainly have the talent to do it. They got Acuna and Olsen and those guys. I thought when Acuna came back, they'd make a huge winning streak push, but they've been kind of treading water, but still 74 wins is not bad. But in this game today, I kind of like the Twins. I'm not going to play it though.
Yeah, it's nice to see AJ Smith-Shawver back. Of course, he was a kind of a big time prospect for them. One of the guys that the Braves really tried to force on us at like an extremely young age. I felt like they, for whatever reason, were so like hell bent on getting him up at like, I think he made his MLB debut at like age 19 or 20, something like that. He's now 23. He's dealt with injury. I believe he missed most of last year, a lot of last year, and then that crept into this year. Didn't really start his season until late June with some rehab. Pitched at Gwinnett for about a month or so. Was very, very good down there. So, month of July was outstanding. And, kind of had on July 29th, the Braves used him in a pinch to pitch against the Mets. He got sent back down, but like, if you just take out that one start, Brian, where they brought him up to sort of do a spot start against the Mets and throw that out, his numbers from the time he got called up to Gwinnett, which means the start of his season, because he had 2 rehab starts at high A before starting his year, have been fantastic. And his last 2 appearances at AAA, 13 strikeouts in 11 innings. He gave up 2 earned runs and had a batting average against of 0.86. I kind of think, I don't know if this is where the Braves break out, but I wouldn't be that surprised if Smith-Shawver threw a decent game against these Twins. So maybe it's where they win. Is it where they break out? I don't know. Maybe an under. Talk to me about Braves Twins.
Yeah, the Braves had a big lead all season long. They got off to that great start. They're 4-6 the last 10. Yeah, I'm not worried about the Braves. They're a team. We talked about the Dodgers being a team that doesn't need to win every single day. The Braves are a team that doesn't need to win every single day. And they have dealt with injuries as much as anybody in the offseason or during the season this year. So, no, the Braves are the better team. They're better than Minnesota is. And I like Smith-Shawver. To me, he's equal with Bradley. And yet we're looking at basically a pick'em situation here with a total of 8.5, slightly to the over. I prefer the Atlanta side. I don't know if we're going to get there with the line. I was hoping to get them in maybe a plus 110, but now it may not be there. But I prefer the Atlanta side, and I'm not worried about the bats there. Minnesota's they've been very good this year, much better than what I thought. I believe Trig, you talked about them earlier in the season. They play with a lot of heart. I got to give them all the credit in the world. But you're also got a team in the National League that is better than a team in the American League. So I like Atlanta here. If I can get a plus 110, I'm interested, but I don't think I'm going to get there. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, I think, this is another one. I think I'm going to hold it till the end of the show. But like, the more I look at this, the more I think the Braves might actually be my leg of the parlay for the show today. I'm not going to lock it in yet. Like I said, I'm waiting today as I got a couple of thoughts here. One final thing I want to point out here with the Braves, I think they have a huge bullpen edge in this game. The Twins, the bullpen for the Twins. Now, credit to the Twins for like quietly going out at the deadline and getting a couple of relievers that actually belong in a big league bullpen. I thought they did a good job. I think they brought in Minter, and there was one other one that they got one other bullpen arm at the deadline. Name's escaping me. Who it was is escaping me right now. Point is, though, the bullpen has not been a strength for Minnesota this year. And the past 3 days, they've won a 4-1 game where they needed leverage arms, a 4-2 game where they needed leverage arms, and they lost on Sunday to the Phillies where they had a late lead. So that means their leverage arms were in and blew that game, ended up losing 7-5. That's a tired Twins bullpen behind Bradley. Brian, I'm with you. I have Smith-Shawver and Bradley relatively even, and I also think Smith-Shawver might come out and shove today just because of like how well he's thrown the ball, sort of under the radar at AAA. So you know what? Let's just do it now. I've talked myself into it. The Braves will be my parlay leg. I think they do salvage one here. Even if they don't hit, that's the thing. Even if they don't hit, I still think they win. And if they have their breakout, maybe they put a crooked number up and it's a lopsided win. So yeah, I'll go Braves. Brian, what'd you say that money line is right now?
They're about a -108 right now.
I think that's fair. I too, I mean, of course, I would have liked them as a dog as well, but I don't think they should be a dog. They're still a significantly better baseball team than the Twins. So yeah, let's go with Braves on the money line. That'll be my leg of the parlay. We've got 2 legs of the parlay locked in. Still a lot more to talk about. Titan CT says, can we I know he's a Red Sox guy, Titan CT over there in Connecticut somewhere. I know this for a fact because he's always in the basketball shows and always pops up when I'm talking the Connecticut-based teams. But so he's a Red Sox fan, and he wants to know, he says, can we discuss to whom the bells toll? There's like Brian Leonard loves his play on words right there. Or Fott, who's been just a total revelation since coming back from Reno. So Red Sox D-backs to you, Brian Leonard. Kick us off with this one.
Yeah, if you remember the last time I was on the show, on when Brandon Fott was on the mound, and we used him as a +175 underdog in the first 5. I think we had him in the first 5, against Sale. And they win the game 3-0, I believe. He has been so hot, but yet Peyton Tolle has been very hot as well. Arizona is going against the lefty Tolle, and Arizona does hit lefties pretty well. I believe they got like a 113 to 116, something like that, WRC plus versus lefties. But two of the red hot pitchers in Major League Baseball. Now the winds are blowing out a little bit in Fenway Park today. I think these 2 guys are good enough to keep that from being much of a problem. Like I said, we're looking at the total is either 8 over, or I see some 8.5s under there, 8.25. But I love both these pitchers in this matchup, but they're betting Boston like they think the game is already over. Ketel Marte is not playing. That was probably what caused the line to move. But if you've been that's the thing about knowing baseball. If you watch it every day, you knew that was going to happen. So these people that are playing into Boston are playing them at an inflated price on something that they knew was going to happen already. So, which gives a little bit of more value on the dog if you think that's the situation. We're looking at a total here, like I said, 8.5 and 8. The way these guys are going right now, let's get a quick look at the first 5. First half of this game, we're looking at Boston as about a 175 favorite with a total of 4. You can get under 4 in the first half at even money, or you can get under 4.5 at minus like 135, 140. I think I'd rather take the under 4 at +100, something to that range. So I'm going to use that as my parlay piece here. First half under 4, +100, and I don't want to fade either one of these starters. They've just been hot as hell, and the bullpens aren't in bad shape either. So we'll play the under the first half, under the 4 here, and that'll be my part of the parlay. Yeah,
Tokyo Brandon, really, I'm kind of shocked that Brandon Fott is still getting some of these prices. I get it, I guess, in the context of like, yeah, Arizona's on the road. The Red Sox, I mean, they're a very, very good baseball team. So I don't really mind them being favorites, but I didn't think they should be this big of a favorite. So to me,
Mm.
and again, but on the other hand, I'm over here saying, well, he's got to have a bad start at some point. I mean, he's not just going to just every time out can't possibly be 7 shutout innings. But I don't know. I've been saying that the last couple. Is this the one? And he goes out and just is just
The
dominant.
due system,
So,
everybody's expecting
yeah.
him to regress. Well, sometimes people find something and there's little tweaks are made, and then all of a sudden they're great. So yeah, I think the line's too high as well.
Yeah, it's something I noted that, I picked up from listening to Torey Lovello talk and watching Diamondbacks broadcasts when he's pitched. I listened to him talk about it on the Reno broadcast, was just how the D-backs really embraced him as just a fastball guy. And instead of like trying to force him to throw a curve or a changeup or something that he wasn't comfortable throwing, they just said, well, he's comfortable throwing the fastball. His best pitch is the fastball. Let's just give him 3 variations of the fastball that he can mix up. And I don't think it's, it's not shocking at all. This is like, sometimes it's that simple. If a guy is just so much more comfortable throwing one pitch, why are you trying to make him throw other pitches he's not as comfortable with? So shout out to Arizona for seeing that, building around it, and they are benefiting now because Fott has been fantastic. So D-backs, Red Sox to you. How are you seeing this one, TB?
Yeah, guys, last 2 days, I'm 5 wins and 1 loss. Brian's red hot. Adam has a 5% play out. So pick 2 of us, grab a double play, 3 days, baseball, all access, all leagues. Go to wagerstalk.com. You'll find the deal on any of our capper pages. So these 2 teams are a mirror image of each other, according to my numbers, including starting pitching today. They have the same number of wins. They're both hitting 11 in current form. Both of their bullpens are ranked 6 in current form, and both starting pitchers are ranked 7 on a curve of 30, according to my numbers. So I see 0 difference between these 2 teams. So I would take an underdog. I would take plus runs. I would take plus money. Anything plus with a plus next to it, take it in this game. That's how I would bet it. If it's first 5 plus a half run, full game plus 2 runs, any plus money play you can get, I'm in for any of them, because these 2 teams are an exact carbon copy of each other as far as my numbers are concerned.
Yeah, I think it's very fair to say that they're pretty close when it comes to, if you're looking at the whole body of work, if you can get away from like the Red Sox are a very, very good team, but if you can get away from that just insane like 30-5 run, I don't think it's like unfair to be like, no, these are 2 pretty competitively even teams. I think that's totally fair. And then when you talk about like this series, Red Sox blow them out in the first 2 games. So like Brian said, Arizona's got the bullpen nice and rested. They just got Justin Martinez back the other day, who was always supposed to be their absolute lockdown stud guy before he got hurt. Yeah, you like if you're looking for a dog on the card today, like a legitimate underdog getting plus 140 or something like that, D-backs is your play. Hard to believe they just roll over and just get swept here, especially with how good they've been as an underdog this year. We talked about this on Monday. I think they're like a 500 team, even after the couple losses. I think they're like basically 500 as a plus money underdog, which means if you've been betting them as a dog this year, you're up significantly. Because I believe they've been an underdog now like 84 times this season plus money, and they've split those. I don't know if I have that correct, but it's close. It's something like that. So yeah, good conversation there. And Brian's going to go under, which makes total sense with these 2. Especially after a couple offensive outbursts for the Red Sox. Wouldn't be at all surprised to see this going into the 6th inning, 1-1, 2-1, 2-0, something like that. So yeah, good discussion on that game. Let's head back to the chat. Let's grab someone. A lot of chat. QM heroes suck at baseball. Something must be going on in in Korea right now.
QM blew a 9th inning lead.
Yeah, it's every single game.
Their bullpen is trash. So yeah.
All right, I'm going to go grab one here at random here from the chat that we haven't talked about yet. We've actually
a lot of people are asking for Skeens.
Yeah, we should. Yeah, that's a day game too.
Skeens
That's a good call, TB. Let's do that. That's a good call. Day game, first one on the board today. I'll let you kick it off. We have
Sure.
Paul Skeens for the Pirates, Jackson Jobe for the Tigers. First thought here for me, man, that's a pretty big price on a Pirates team that's been a little shaky since the start of the month. So, and a guy that's been very shaky in Paul Skeens. So, Pirates, Tigers, Tokyo Brandon, how are you getting involved with this one?
So here's a tip about betting. Some guys get a line they shouldn't get just because of their name. And Skeens is one of those. He's not pitching like an elite pitcher right now. His ERA is 3.88. He does have a good whip, but he's lost 11 games, you guys. So he can lose games. Think that just because his name is Schemes or some guy's name is Scooble and they can't lose a game is kind of ridiculous, but they're getting priced like they can't lose. So I think it's a good chance to play the other side. Skeens is a really good pitcher, though. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying he's like trash or anything. He's definitely elite as far as skills and talent, but something's wrong with him this season. Maybe he's injured. I don't know. He's only given up 4 earned in his last 2 starts. So he's not actually horrible. And before that, he gave up 2 fivers in a row. So that's kind of horrible. Job is a guy I don't have a lot of faith in either. I think an over is the way to look in this one because both teams are hitting 10 or better out of 30 teams. They're both ranked 10 according to my numbers current form. And you're going to get a nice low number because as soon as the books see Skeens, they panic and make their numbers automatically low and give the Pirates like minus 200 automatic. So it's the time to take advantage of those. Some guys get too much credit from the books. Some guys don't get enough credit from the books, and we can find edges in that. So I think an over would be the way to go here, especially in the first 5.
Yeah, I mean, listen, Mark is right. Listen, it's one of these. It's one of these things. Okay, it's either his mechanics are messed up. It's either he's hurt. Maybe he came in a little out of his normal pitching shape. Who knows? But like one of those things has to be true because at age 24, which is what Paul Skeens is now, you don't just lose 3 miles an hour on your fastball from age 23 to 24. Like it doesn't happen without one of those things, in my opinion. It's one thing to lose some velo in your 30s, but like, I mean, Brian, his fastball is basically like 90, sitting like 96 now. When last year, the last 2 years, we would see him get to the 7th inning and be regularly throwing 100, 99. I think it would sit like 98, between 98 and 99. You can't tell me something is not off. Like they'll tell you like, oh, whatever. I'm like, he downplays it in the media and stuff like that. Something's off. And I agree with TB. Until that is figured out, he can't possibly be getting priced the way he's being priced. So Pirates, Tigers to you. How do you see this one?
I'm in agreement. I'd be interested. I don't have the numbers offhand. Since Skeens has joined the major leagues, are you up or down money by betting on him every single game? Because as good as he's been, as great as he's expected to be, it's a situation for me that you never seem to have any value by betting on them because, like you said, they have them jacked up a little bit. I'm with TB on here. If I'm playing this one, I like the over. Pittsburgh day games have been a good spot to go over, and Pittsburgh's turned into more of a hitting park this year as opposed to in the past. So yeah, with a total of 8, I see 7.5 minus 120 if you want to play that, but. Yeah, 8 minus 110 is clearly something that I have an interest in. And I would play the over if I played this one.
Yeah, and I get that it feels like you're playing with fire a little bit with the over and like these 2 pitchers. But like, listen, Jackson Jobe has electric stuff, but he also coming off an injury. I think you're going to see this from him the rest of the way, where it's a little bit like one day he goes out and fires 5 scoreless. The next day he goes out like he did against the White Sox, gets blown up for 6 runs on 9 hits. So again, like if you can get past, like Tokyo Brandon saying, if you can get past the names here, like the Pirates have just demolished right-handed pitching this season. Absolutely, as a team, crushing right-handed pitching. And, you know, they've probably, they got that early month sort of team slump, it feels like, out of the way. Yeah, they got shut out on on Saturday in Boston. Yes, they only, they had a poor start to the month, and it was probably always coming a little bit, the regression offensively. But if you look at them from, like, let's say, like, that 13-1 win over the Marlins to today, they're hitting again. And they pound right-handed pitching. They've been top 5 WRC plus in the league against right-handed pitching all year. 4-1 win last night. If the Tigers can contribute at all, this is probably an easy over. I'm with Brian. I think over's the way I lean here as well.
Do you mind if I suggest a game?
Yeah, go ahead.
I wanted to get your opinion on this since you do the minor leaguers more than the other two guys. Tugboat is pitching. Matt Wilkinson going for San Francisco today against Cleveland. He was a Cleveland star in the minor leagues. Everybody loved him, and they traded him for Bailey, the catcher for San Francisco, and now he's making it to the majors. I know I like lefties that nobody knows about when they join the majors. Well, this is the one team that knows all about him, and that's Cleveland, because he pitched in our organization. We're looking at Messick is a pretty big favorite here for Cleveland. They're about a 215 favorite, total of 7 to the over, 7.5 to the under. Interesting, Trig, what your thought process is with Wilkinson. I'm a big fan, being a bigger guy. I loved him. I love Parker Messick's another guy. You don't see too many guys looking with our bodies in the major leagues any longer. I'm really fascinated by this game today. Don't know which way to go. What do you think of Wilkinson?
Yeah. So what I will say with, so this trade actually occurred this year. I had to it's, you do this every day, man. March seems like so far away at this point that I had to, obviously I know he came from the Guardians organization, but I was like, oh my God, that was actually this season. It felt like longer ago than that, but he was actually only in high A for the Guardians last year. This year, he started the year in Akron, and yeah, he got traded. That was an early trade, kind of a little bit under the radar, I suppose. He's been fantastic since getting to he was really great at Double A Akron. He put up great numbers there to start the year. He put up excellent numbers in Richmond. He was part of this wave of guys that got called up from Richmond to Sacramento. And Sacramento's played great ball since he got there. Numbers are a little bit deceiving at Sacramento, in my opinion, playing in the PCL. He had a couple of bad starts. Like, he's actually thrown the ball incredibly well, in my opinion, for the River Cats. Couple one-off bad starts for him that have inflated his numbers. But for the most part, start in, start out, he's thrown it well. He's absolutely a guy that I could see coming up and having some success at the big league level, just based on the way he's thrown the ball for the River Cats so far. So yeah, here's the thing, the Guardians, I've said this quite a bit lately. They're one of the teams that I'm just really not scared of offensively, going against. Team is, and they're another example, Brian, of a team that I think is getting far too inflated from the fact that they're playing meaningful baseball right now. Because you put them in most other divisions in baseball, they're an afterthought. They're not in a race. So yeah, I think Tugboat probably throws the ball well here. And if he does, the Giants should be in this game. I like Messick too, but listen, the Guardians are a team right now that simply can't be this big of a favorite. They just can't. TB, Guardians, Giants to you. Anything for you in this one?
Yeah, I'll probably be devil's advocate here because I like Cleveland here. I think they got the better lineup, and San Francisco's the only team in MLB that I have ranked 26 or worse in every category except starting pitcher here. So, yikes, they look really bad. Robbie Ray pitched well the other night, but unless they get a good pitching performance like that, I think they're going to have trouble winning. They do have, Cleveland's bullpen is actually ranked worse than San Francisco's right now in current form. So that's a little ray of hope for the Giants. But I think Parker Messick, his expected stats and his surface stats both are very impressive. So I would go San Francisco Giants team total under here. I think would be the best. If you could get a 3.5, that would be great. I think just hope Cleveland's bullpen hangs on after Messick comes out. But I don't see San Francisco scoring a lot, so that's probably how I would go.
Here's the thing with the Giants right now. Like, they're a young team. They're going to continue to get younger. They just called up Turner Hill, who was just tearing the cover off the ball at the minor league level. This is a team that has been out of it for a while. They have a rookie manager, a lot of young, like, first year players. You're going to see, like, they're not a great ball club, but could they play spoiler a little bit over the next 5 to 6 weeks? I think so, because there is young talent. There's young pitching talent, Tugboat being one of them. Brian, his minor league career numbers in 313 innings, 390 strikeouts, and a 1.09 whip career at the minor league level. Like I said, he's throwing the ball great for Sacramento, for really wherever he's been this year. But, like, to think that the Giants can't, like, maybe, like, be a live dog the rest of the way. Like I said, a lot of young talent. You're going to see Bo Davidson probably up at some point in September. Once these young guys start to really leak into the lineup, which has already started with Hill, and like, they're probably going to be better than their price. Does it mean they're going to rattle off like a ton of wins? Probably not. But, like, on a game-to-game basis, like, if you're going to see, like, today, I think they're like plus 165. Like, if you start seeing Giants on a daily basis being like a 170 dog, that's a team you'll probably make some money with from now till the end of the season, because there is a lot of exciting players. I'll tell you guys what, this is a team I've already circled. I will be very pro Giants probably next year, because I think their manager, who was totally in over his head in the pro game, first year in the pro game, I think he's learning too. I think he's a better manager now than he was in March, simply because the guy was so clueless as to, like, how to manage a professional team, a pro team, as opposed to a college team. Everyone's learning. I think you're going to get strong performances from them to close the year. Circle the Giants. They will be much better next year than they were this year. I guess that's what I'll say about that one. And to wrap it up, Brian, I think Wilkinson throws it well today. I could see him having a very strong major league debut.
Yeah, the bullpen is really rested for the Giants also. And we're running it. They got embarrassed yesterday against Cleveland, letting Cleveland score 8 runs against them. Talk about embarrassment. Look at Seattle, 22-0. I think, just as a generalization today, anybody who was totally embarrassed yesterday is a team I think you can have value on today. Tampa Bay gave up 10 runs to Toronto. I mean, you could make up a parlay on teams that got embarrassed yesterday, and even though I don't play parlays, that wouldn't be bad bets on today's card. So we'll see how it works out. But yeah, there's no way Cleveland, in my opinion, should be a 210, 220 favorite, regardless of who they're playing. Even though I love Messick, I just don't trust that offense.
Yep, I'm with you right there. Brian, what was the juice on your first 5 under, and also the Nationals money line for TB? I didn't write those down.
Yeah, mine was plus 100 on the under 4, and the Nationals on the money line.
120. 20.
Yeah, 120. 120.
Plus 120. Yeah,
plus 120.
I was going to say shop around. You might even be, or before the show, there was some 123, 122, for that Nats game. So that's a solid underdog right
122
there.
122 at one place. Most of them are 120 or less. Yeah.
Yeah, that's go ahead, Brian.
Wrong number.
Yeah, and your play was originally, I'm sorry.
Mine was the Braves. I think it was like minus 108.
Yeah, that was correct. So we'll have a good paying parlay today.
It's going to be huge if we cash this one.
Oh yeah, we'll be nice. I mean, we'll be nicely in the plus on the season if this one hits today. I think we're chasing, like, after yesterday's loss, I think we're like chasing like a little bit over a unit, or like right around a unit on the parlay of the day. So dogs are barking at my house. Hopefully they're barking for Tokyo Brandon on the Nationals today. That is his leg of the parlay. Remember, I do have a 5% play in Major League Baseball tonight. Hope you join me on that. You can get that as part of any long-term package. You can get it on its own, or as part of a double play with either of the two gentlemen you see here on the screen. And that's one of many solid specials that the WagerTalk site right now. So whether it's one of us you want to, go with long term, the double play, which gets you 3 days, all baseball of either of the two of us, a bunch of great options to get involved at WagerTalk today. So Tokyo Brandon for the parlays going Nationals plus 120 full game. I'm going Braves minus 108 full game. And Bryan Leonard's going with a first 5 under in Red Sox Diamondbacks under 4. So Nats plus 120, Braves minus 108, and then Red Sox, D-backs, first 5 under 4. That is your 3-teamer for today. And the 3 of us will be back tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Eastern for more total bases. Good luck today, everyone. We'll see you guys then.